NFC North team needs. The Packers can't leave the 2022 draft without addressing. Do we even need to have this
let's see. What do the Packers need? Well, they need to trade up at the end of the first to get one more quarterback. That's what they should do. They should have a team of first rounders in the quarterback room. That receiver. I mean, right? I mean, it's receiver. I mean, it's multiple receivers. I mean, truly. I mean, it's multiple. Not only like because they need it for the firepower for Aaron Rodgers, they need it just for pure numbers on their roster. I mean, they're limited there. So, yeah, I mean, receiver is the easiest pick in the world for the Green Bay, somewhere in that 2 picks in the end of the first round.
He said after their playoff loss, he doesn't want to be part of a rebuilding effort, and his receiver room is in
rebuilding
shambles currently.
Oh yeah,
it's not even rebuilding.
Yeah.
It's there's nothing there.
Yeah,
it's gone. It's obliterated. When Randall Cobb is your number one option in 2022, you have a problem. The guy who's only there because Aaron Rodgers had a temper tantrum last year, and that's your number one receiver, that's a problem. So, yes, receiver for them. Vikings, who do not have issues at receiver, can't leave the 2022 draft without addressing what, Chris?
Well, I mean, come on. I can't go first here. This is your team. This is your squad. I got to – who does Mike Florio, media GM of the Vikings and superfan, think the Vikings need to go with here? What position?
You know, it's funny when I can hear Pete say the words and then they come out of your mouth. I feel like I'm being ganged up on. This is unfair. This is a hostile work
I started
environment.
down this road without Pete. I didn't need him.
Hey, I think you can always need more offensive linemen. That team's offensive line is a far cry from what it needs to be to make the offense work. But they also need help in the defensive secondary, specifically at corner.
Yeah.
I know they brought back Patrick Peterson, but he's on the tail end of his career. There's a reason why he was available 3-4 weeks into free agency. So they need help at defensive backs. And you know, the defense, all due respect to Mike Zimmer, I mean, that was his specialty, and the defense sucked the past couple of years.
Yes, it
did. He
did.
wasn't developing the players. The good players weren't playing well. I think they really were getting to the point where there was fatigue. That Bill Parcells crap, no disrespect to Bill Parcells, but it doesn't work on today's players after 6, 7, 8 years. They get to the point where they've had enough of it, and I think there may have been, I don't want to say quiet rebellion, but whatever it was, the coaching methods weren't working on the side of the ball where Mike Zimmer had his claim to fame. Now, he would say, there were all these injuries and this, that. You can always line up excuses. Every team can line up excuses. The bottom line is they didn't get it done. They had the talent, and they didn't get it done. But they need more talent at cornerback, especially, if they want to be relevant in the NFC.
I agree.
They need to be able to slow down some of the offenses they're going to come across, like the Rams or the Buccaneers, if they're going to be even remotely competitive this season.
Agreed. To me, it's the most glaring thing. You probably could use, maybe another D lineman in the mix, interior D lineman, but corner seems to be number one. 2, I thought great signings by your football team there. Were, of course, getting Zadarius Smith. That's going to be great, especially you got some 3-4-ish principles on your team now.
If he's healthy.
If he's healthy, that could be good. The other one I really liked on there is Jordan Hicks. Jordan Hicks is a really freaking good middle linebacker. He got pushed out of town a little there in Arizona because of a style of play, and 2 linebackers that were kind of freaky ended up on the board, and they took them. But I did like that. But I'm with you on the corner thing. I think it's corner all the way for Minnesota. It's the number one issue. Look at their team. You're right. And there's no marquee guy that you can really depend on, no island guy. And you said it right, Patrick Peterson. It's year 12. He's a corner. I mean, it's amazing he played as well as he did last year, as is anyways.
The Lions have the 2nd overall pick in the draft. Last year, Zach Wilson was the 2nd overall pick in the draft, and the Lions can't exit this year's draft without addressing what, Chris?
I like how you didn't address my comment there. You just went right over that. That was good.
That will be fine.
That will be fine. That was enough for you. All right. I think this one's pretty clear, too. You got a Saints coaching staff. They got those kind of guys. They got no big-time edge defender. I expect them at number 2 to either have Aiden Hutchinson or Trayvon Walker there, and they're going to take that. I do. Offensive line, it's pretty good there in Detroit. I mean, there's some pieces there. They started to run the ball and move some people at the end of the year last year. I don't think that's an issue anymore. Corner, they addressed that a little in free agency. Jeff Okudah will be back. That's something I've looked at. But I think edge is the real thing. They need to get their Cameron Jordan, somebody like that that's going to make that system go on that side of the ball.
I think with that 32nd pick, if they don't end up with Baker Mayfield and they don't have a plan to end up getting him, I think they need to see.
Take Matt Corral from Ole Miss. That's what I would say.
Who's there at 32?
Yep.
Because they're tied to Jared Goff for one more year. After this year, they'll be able to escape that contract, and they can say all they want. Jared Goff is not the answer. When Dan Campbell comes out recently and says, hey, we can win without an elite quarterback, that tells you everything you need to know about what they really think of Jared Goff. He was the guy that they took on as part of this Matthew Stafford deal to get an extra first-round pick, period. And they made it work with him last year because, number one, they didn't have much of a choice, and number two, who the hell cared? They weren't going to be good anyway. This is just part of the getting the extra draft pick. And now with that pick that they acquired from the Rams, that 32nd overall pick, maybe they draft a quarterback that better fits what the Lions are trying to be now and in the future. The Bears, who seem to be tearing it down everywhere around quarterback Justin Fields. They don't have a first-round pick because of the trade-up last year to get Fields. They can't leave the 2022 draft without what, Chris?
They have some holes. There's no doubt about it. I don't know whether to go wide receiver or D-line. I mean, again, there's no Khalil Mack. He's gone. Akeem Hicks, right? He's still out there in the free agent market. He's gone. I mean, so I look at the defensive line and go, oh wow, they need some help there. But then I also come back to what you just said. I mean, we need some receivers for Justin Fields, don't we?
Yes.
Allen Robinson's out of there. Darnell Mooney's the only guy I look at to be a real guy to go, oh, wow, he's a little scary. He can run by you for a deep post or a touchdown. But, man, if you want to make the guy you traded up in the first round to work here, haven't we seen this story before? You got to get some talent around him. You got to get some players around him to make sure he looks like the guy you want him to look like.
And, when you consider the extent to which they're tearing it down in Chicago, I was on WSCR yesterday, and I don't know, I guess what I said made a little bit of a story. We were just kind of kicking around the idea that they are tearing it down. I mean, it makes you wonder what they really think of Justin Fields, because now's the time to try to build something, not tear it down. You're tearing it down if you are planning to eventually go get a new franchise quarterback. That's part of the process. It's part of the reason why you tear it down. Why are you tearing it down around a guy that is supposedly your franchise quarterback? And this is one of my concerns. When you bring in a new regime, you don't know what they really think about Justin Fields.
Yeah.
You don't know that they view him the same way the last regime did. They're not going to come out and tell you that, but sometimes their actions are going to tell us. When they're tearing it down around the guy they should be trying to build around, that's not a good sign for what they think of Justin Fields. And that is not a hot take. That is a cold, hard assessment of the reality of the situation. They're going to make it harder for Fields to play well if they don't have the help around him, and it's going to look like he's the failure when he can't play well because he doesn't have help around him.
Yeah,
it's his fault. No, it's not his fault. He doesn't have any help.
It's a real aspect. I've wondered the same thing too. And again, with their offensive coordinator, it's a guy that is from Green Bay. He doesn't have the expertise, or he's not known for moving quarterbacks, Justin Fields type of guys there too. So I hear what you're saying. I question the same thing. Hopefully they are behind him, and you're right. They need to put some more talent around him so the guy can play and show us what he's all about.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.